something. We're gonna hit somebody. We're taking down Skill. Front touchdown. I guarantee you that. Look at me. Let's go.
We push it lane to lane, disappear like David Blaine. Pay cash for the car, then crash anything. Smoke the cool J. Now my two things.
What's up? I'm Jimmy Be Damned.
Don't be like Ron
You're watching Beers,
and Beers.
and we're talking The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
Back from the mid-season break, we've had 2 episodes.
So glad.
You're a big fan of the show.
Man, I love that show.
You've got it higher on your list of best TV shows than I do, but I'm also a big fan of the show, and I'm a bigger fan of the comic book series. So we have these ongoing discussions about the show, and Ryan is always very enthused about the show. There are frequently things I enjoy about the show. I also frequently complain about the show and compare it to the comics, and which
He loves the comic.
if you do such a comparison, it doesn't necessarily favor the show, but
when
I dig the show.
When in cinematic history has the book ever not been better than the movie, so to speak?
Jaws.
Okay, well, that's the only
Jaws.
time.
It could be the only time.
But let's talk some Walking Dead.
Let's
bro.
talk Walking Dead.
They tied up a lot of loose ends this episode and gave us a lot more reason to watch next week too. Now we know everybody's alive pretty much. Everybody who mattered.
The big thing that jumped out at me in this week's episode was just a simple notion that toting a baby around in the zombie apocalypse sucks.
Oh yeah, it must. With no diapers, no pacifier. Oh, are you kidding me? Tyrese is a strong brother.
They're definitely finally,
Yeah.
this season, we finally started to see that character play the type of role I thought we would have seen from the very first time he arrived. I hope that things don't happen as slowly with Abraham, who we saw right at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Which was definitely a big development, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. There were also, we were talking about some new characters and newer characters. Everybody's favorite Daryl will open the show for us.
And I was so glad, man. So glad. Because the first episode that we had to come back to, yeah, it was great. But I don't usually like episodes that ain't got Daryl in it, man. He's a total badass. But to get down to the brass tacks of it all, realistically, the thing I was most excited about was Maggie and the bus zombie killing spree.
That was a good scene. I don't know if that was my favorite part. I liked Glenn.
Riot Gear Glenn.
Riot Gear, and the scene where he woke up was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that scene.
Oh yeah.
And definitely it was good to see Carol again. That was a big moment in the show.
Yeah, it sure was. So what do you think was the biggest shock of the episode, I guess? Or the thing
Baby smothering girl comes to mind. I mean,
oh yeah.
Wow, that was intense, man.
That was wicked. I thought that baby was dead.
That baby was in serious trouble, and I'm wondering. Nothing was said, but obviously you couldn't say anything with the girl in sight. But there were some looks that I saw from Carol. I'm wondering what she saw. Did she see anything?
I think she saw it all. I think she was about to tell Tyrese too.
I was thinking that, but it wasn't. I don't know.
I think man, listen. If they ain't find that little sanctuary sign, I think she's pretty much about to tell Tyrese about all of that. I'd keep an eye on her.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, she seems a little twisted.
But see, it was definitely a good episode of The Walking Dead, and this has been a really, really good season thus far. Last year to me was a major disappointment.
Not to me.
It was not what I was looking for, but this year has definitely been a big surprise to me in that so much has happened.
Yeah, so many zombies.
So much action. The governor finally resembled the governor. You don't even understand, man. Like the comics, this dude is like one of the top villains ever. In the show version, he's okay.
It was like real Patrick. Is it real Patrick Swayze?
I don't know. Like that's a part that Patrick might could have done a better job.
I'm 100% sure Patrick
Summon some Bodie from Point Break.
I hear that.
No, and I don't even know that the actor David Morrissey. I don't even know that I blame him that much. He played the role pretty well.
I think he did.
They just wrote it a lot softer.
Yeah,
They tried to make him more human and likable and give him a little more depth. In the comics, he's just an evil bastard, man, and that worked a lot better for the story. And it was a better antagonist for Rick. It was a top-notch villain. The show kind of bummed it, but again, this year they kind of righted that ship. They sent him out in style. I'm still not overly satisfied with the whole Rick getting his ass whipped. Like,
I think I'm really happy about that, man. That was probably the best part of the episode. He was beat within inches of his life, man. I was surprised.
Rick's got to represent a little better, man. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, man. Rick was asleep for about 3 days. The governor beat him to sleep. All right. He got knocked the F out. All right, but honestly, I think I'm a little bit more excited to see Rick and Carl and Michelle than for next week than I am about anything else, man. And I don't really remember what was in the preview, but
let's go back to not this week, but last week.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. If you're ever like badly wounded, struggling to live, man, and you need a caretaker, hey, man, Carl's where it's at, man. Like, Carl will take good care of you.
You know something, Carl's my second favorite character on the show.
He may berate you.
He
may hurl profanity at you while you lay there possibly dying.
He might wind up peeping the first. Like, it's really close, man, because he's about just as cool as Daryl to me, man.
Well, Carl is wicked cool.
Yeah.
The comics, like, I mean, he's definitely next to Rick in the comics, obviously, like the pivotal character, and he's evolved to me in kind of this larger than life because of all the characters, he has the most unique experience. He's coming of age in this shit.
Yeah.
And the show is really doing a good job of hinting at what he could become and what that could do to you. And I really dig Carl. He's one of the better things about the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
So where are we going from here? What do you think is coming in the next few weeks for The Walking Dead? Because there's not a whole lot left for this season. Where are we going?
I mean, I think that slowly but surely everybody's going to find each other or find sanctuary. And I think the ones that don't find sanctuary are going to have a problem by the time they get to the sanctuary.
It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. I'm Jimmy Be Damned.
Don't be like mine.
You watching Beers?
And Beers. Who you got? Hey YouTube, we're gonna ask you one question. This Sunday, Walking Dead, who you think getting the most zombie kills? Hit us up at Beers and Beards, hashtag Walking Dead, hashtag who you got? Who do you think?
I'm gonna be lame and go Daryl.
That's not lame at all.
That's what millions of fangirls say the world over.